Tonight, as we come on the air in the West, the breaking news: we have just learned that President Biden has been diagnosed with COVID. The images of him boarding Air Force One a short time ago. Also developing as we come on tonight, we have stunning new video of the gunman who tried to take Donald Trump's life a full hour before he opened fire. First tonight, the news just in: President Biden has COVID, what we've learned moments ago. And it comes amid new questions tonight over whether he'll stay in the race. A new call for him to, quote, pass the torch from a leading Democrat in the House. What our Mary Bruce and John Karl have learned tonight about where this goes from here. Also breaking tonight, that video appearing to show the alleged gunman Thomas Crooks walking the perimeter of that Pennsylvania rally about 1 hour before trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Seen with a rangefinder. And what we just learned, he was first identified as a person of interest a full 62 minutes before he opened fire. And that he was seen by Secret Service snipers on that roof a full 20 minutes before he fired the president. Pierre Thomas standing by with his late reporting. Here in Milwaukee tonight, Republican vice presidential candidate JD Vance preparing to take center stage. His speech in prime time tonight. We'll carry it live here on ABC. And the Biden campaign pointing out JD Vance's position on abortion rights and saying Vance would not have done what Mike Pence did. Vance suggesting he would not have certified the election in 2020. We are tracking severe storms in the Northeast at this hour: New York City, Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. Winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. Ginger Z is here. There's news tonight about 2 Americans found dead in Thailand. Initial reports this evening saying it might have been cyanide. Here in the U.S. tonight, newly released surveillance, a deadly crane collapse, a construction worker killed. Buried in the sand, the race to save a 16-year-old girl. And you could call it a bear of a day for the Emmy nominations. The big winners already tonight.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Milwaukee.
Good evening tonight from Milwaukee and the Republican National Convention. We do begin tonight with breaking news involving President Biden. There is word just in tonight he has tested positive for COVID while campaigning in the battleground state of Nevada. President Biden boarding Air Force One, leaving. The president appearing right here to be battling the effects of COVID, moving very slowly as he walks up those stairs to Air Force One. And this moment in this campaign comes amid new questions tonight over whether President Biden will stay in this race. A new call for him to, quote, pass the torch from a leading Democrat in the House. This is all fast-moving. President Biden's moments ago flashing a thumbs up saying, I feel good. And ABC's chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce leading us off from Milwaukee.
President Biden was supposed to address a conference in Las Vegas tonight, but moments ago, this announcement.
The president has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID.
The news comes among growing uncertainty among top Democrats about the future of the president's campaign. Today, Congressman Adam Schiff, who is running for Senate in California and is a close ally of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, calling on Biden to leave the race.
Mr. President, any response to Adam Schiff?
Schiff, who is a friend of the president's, writing Joe Biden has been one of the most consequential presidents in our nation's history, and his lifetime of service as a senator, a vice president, and now as president has made our country better. But our nation is at a crossroads. A second Trump presidency will undermine the very foundation of our democracy, and I have serious concerns about whether the president can defeat Donald Trump in November. Over the weekend, Schiff privately voicing his concerns to donors. ABC News obtaining the audio.
I do not think he is the best person to go into this election. I think if he is our nominee, I think we lose.
Today, Schiff going public, saying, I believe it is time for him to pass the torch, and in doing so, secure his legacy of leadership by allowing us to defeat Donald Trump in the upcoming election. It comes as the Democratic National Committee announces it's shelving an effort to make Biden's nomination official by the end of July through a virtual roll call vote. The DNC Rules Committee now announcing no virtual voting will begin before August 1. The move perhaps intended to buy more time to convince Biden to drop out of the race. Sources telling ABC News it came at the urging of the 2 most powerful Democrats in Congress, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. So far, Biden resisting all entreaties to drop out of the race, but he has had words of praise for his vice president, Kamala Harris.
And by the way, She's not only a great vice president, she could be president of the United States.
In an interview with BET, Biden did say a doctor's recommendation could sway him.
If there had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem.
An extraordinary sequence of events. We've got Mary, Bruce, and John Karl with us here tonight because, of course, this is all fast-moving, and this conversation behind the scenes has not let up. And now this new development, we've just learned he's been diagnosed with COVID, and he didn't look great on those stairs there.
No, we saw that video there. The president seeming to struggle a bit, walking slowly up the stairs as he left Las Vegas, heading back home to Delaware. In a statement just now, his doctor says he is experiencing mild symptoms. We're told a runny nose, cough, and general malaise. They say this morning he was feeling fine, but then symptoms developed throughout the day. After his first event in Las Vegas, he tested positive. He is now on his way home to Rehoboth, Delaware, where he will be self-isolating, David.
Listen, the majority of us have gone through COVID. We know what that's like. We wish the president well. In the meantime, John Karl, this conversation that won't go away. You saw what Adam Schiff said today, and you have new reporting tonight about a meeting that took place Saturday. Not a lot of people heard about this because of, obviously, the horror in Pennsylvania involving Donald Trump. But Chuck Schumer went to Joe Biden in Delaware, the president, and had a meeting with him and came out and simply said it was a good meeting.
This was a tough meeting, David, and I am told that the pressure from Democratic leaders for Biden to get out of the race is intensifying. In fact, one person who has been out there publicly defending Biden told me just a short while ago, Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Rehoboth, Delaware, I am told that this was a one-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that Chuck Schumer forcefully made the case that it would be better for Biden, better for the Democratic Party, and better for the country if he were to bow out of the race. And David, when I went to Schumer's office to ask them to tell them I was going to report this and tell you this tonight, absolutely no denial from Senator Schumer's office. They only said this: Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus. In other words, the views of Democratic senators. I am also told that Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, has expressed similar views directly to the president.
All right, John Karl and Mary Bruce, both with breaking developments here tonight, and we all wish the president a speedy recovery from COVID in the meantime. We've got a lot of other news to get to, including the stunning new images tonight, the new details from the investigation into the assassination attempt on former President Trump. Video obtained by ABC station WTAE appearing to show the alleged gunman Thomas Crooks walking the perimeter of the rally about 1 hour before the former president was shot. And tonight, the FBI briefing lawmakers, and a disturbing timeline has now emerged. The gunman was actually identified as a person of interest 62 minutes before the first shots were fired. He approached security, but when he saw the magnetometers, he apparently backed away. And the Secret Service saw him on that roof a full 20 minutes before he fired at the former president. So what's going on here? Pierre Thomas studying this timeline. Here's his new reporting tonight.
Tonight, stunning new images appearing to show Donald Trump's would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks, 1 hour before he opened fire. Police believe that this is Crooks in a video obtained by ABC affiliate WTAE, walking near the campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday, at one point looking towards the crowd. Sources telling ABC News, Crooks walked toward the security entrance with the magnetometers. Did something suspicious, is approached by authorities. He backs up and fades into the crowd. And tonight, the FBI briefing lawmakers, who gave ABC News a detailed timeline. At 5:10 p.m., Crooks is first identified as a person of interest, a full 62 minutes before the first shots. At 5:30, Crooks was spotted with a rangefinder, which can be used to determine distances for target practice. Sources telling ABC News he's able to get on that roof by climbing over air conditioning units. At 5:52, Crooks was spotted on the roof by the Secret Service, a full 20 minutes before the shooting. 6:02, Trump takes the stage. 6:12, Crooks fires those shots, killing one man and nearly taking Trump's life. A sniper killing Crooks 26 seconds after he fires the first shot.
It is a split-second decision, and they have the ability to make that decision on their own.
But how Crooks was able to get on that roof undetected, still sending shockwaves through law enforcement. And local authorities in Butler, Pennsylvania, starting to push back.
The deputies under my control did their job and went above and beyond after the shooting stopped and the chaos began.
And sources telling ABC News that before the rally, local authorities warned the Secret Service that they would not be able to provide enough police personnel to cover all the buildings. Sources say the Secret Service asked for a police cruiser to be stationed at the building and that the request was denied. Officers were stationed inside the complex of buildings, but somehow everyone missed Crooks climbing onto that roof. And this new video coming in tonight of former President Trump being brought to the hospital minutes after being shot, surrounded by Secret Service. And David, sources are telling us tonight when the FBI exploited Crooks' phone and other devices, they discovered he had looked at photos of both President Biden and former President Trump and had been looking at their schedules.
But these are extraordinary developments, Pierre, to have been labeled a person of interest a full hour before shots were fired, and that Secret Service sniper saw him on that roof 20 minutes before he opened fire. I know you're going to stay on this. Pierre Thomas with the new reporting tonight. Thank you. Meantime, here in Milwaukee, Republican vice presidential candidate JD Vance preparing to take center stage right here behind me tonight. Of course, that speech will be in prime time. We will carry it live right here on ABC, 10 p.m. Eastern. And even before this speech in prime time, the Biden campaign pointing out tonight JD Vance's position on abortion rights and saying Vance would not have done what Mike Pence did, saying Vance has suggested he would not have certified the 2020 election. Rachel Scott tonight, right down on the convention floor.
Tonight, with Donald Trump looking on, the young senator he tapped as his running mate center stage at the Republican National Convention.
President Trump represents America's last best hope to restore what, if lost, may never be found again. A country where a working-class boy born far from the halls of power can stand on this stage as the next vice president of the United States of America.
At 39, Vance has a compelling story to tell. His working-class background, the subject of a best-selling memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. He's a former Marine serving in Iraq, a Yale Law School graduate, and a venture capitalist. He was also once a fierce critic of Donald Trump.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
But Vance says Trump changed his mind, proving himself as president. He became one of Trump's fiercest defenders.
Trump looked for someone he knew would be a rubber stamp for his extreme agenda.
Today, Vice President Kamala Harris portraying Vance as an extremist on the key issue of abortion.
He supports a national abortion ban and voted against protecting IVF.
Vance has supported banning abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest.
I think two wrongs don't make a right. At the end of the day, we're talking about an unborn baby.
Donald Trump has bragged about appointing 3 of the 5 Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. He now says states should decide their own abortion laws. And Vance says he will follow Trump's lead.
My view is that Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party, and his views on abortion are going to be the views that dominate this party and drive this party forward.
But Harris today telling voters, don't be fooled.
This is an individual who has said he is for a national and has made every indication that he is for a national abortion ban. And so, again, this is where the power is with the people.
Harris says there's something else Americans should know about her new rival, insisting that unlike Mike Pence, JD Vance would have carried out Trump's plan to overturn the 2020 election.
Former President Donald Trump has made it clear he will be looking to his running mate, Senator JD Vance, to help him win in those critical Midwestern battleground states. We're talking about Michigan, Pennsylvania, and, of course, his home state of Ohio. David.
Rachel Scott down there on the convention floor tonight. Rachel, thank you. Next tonight here we are tracking severe storms in the Northeast at this hour. 50 million Americans on alert, winds up to 70 miles an hour. We're talking about Washington, D.C. up through Philadelphia, New York City, right into New England. The system spawning this EF2 tornado in Rome, New York, near Utica in central New York. The damage from 135 mile an hour winds. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z tracking the storms again tonight. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. We've got severe thunderstorms just about 60 miles to our west coming this way, sweeping in with that cold front. And there have been more than 80 severe storm reports already tonight, and we're just getting started. That was from Alabama up to New Hampshire. A lot of this action around Philadelphia, up in upstate New York, even up into Vermont. So I want to take you through the timing. It's overnight tonight, and that cold front passes, I'd say after midnight. Most are free and clear. And I say clear with lower humidity. So even though temperatures still look at or even a tick or two above average, you will feel totally different in a place like Washington, D.C. or Baltimore, where they saw the hottest numbers in 12 years. They had 4 days this week at 100 plus. Then you look where it is going to warm right back up. Phoenix, Las Vegas, back into the 115 territory, David.
Ginger Z, we'll see you first thing in the morning on GMA. Thank you, Ginger. We turn now to a grim discovery in a 5-star hotel in Bangkok, Thailand. 2 Americans among 6 found dead. Tonight, police suspect they drank tea laced with cyanide. Here's our foreign correspondent, James Longman now.
2 Americans are among 6 dead tonight in a mysterious apparent cyanide poisoning in a luxury Bangkok hotel suite. Police say traces of the deadly chemical were found in the blood of 2 Americans who travelled to Thailand in the last week. The 4 others, all Vietnamese nationals. Forensic investigators revealed traces of cyanide were found on teacups in room 502 of the 5-star Grand Hyatt Erawan Hotel. When the bodies were found, some 12 to 24 hours later, after they failed to check out of their room, their lips and nails had turned blue, indicating a lack of oxygen. Police say a waiter was the last to see one of the Americans alive. He delivered food and tea to the room. Surveillance video shows the others enter one by one. Authorities believe that one among them must have administered the poison to the drinks. Police say the motivations may be financial. 4 of the 6 victims invested money together, and that 2 of the victims owed some $280,000 to another of the deceased. But they've not revealed who.
David, the FBI is assisting in the investigation. Police say they're waiting on blood tests to confirm the presence of cyanide. They say there is no wider danger to the public. David?
James Longman with us tonight. Thank you, James. When we come back here, the Brinks truck robbery near Philadelphia tonight, hundreds of thousands of dollars taken, and the race to save a 16-year-old buried in the sand at the beach. We'll be right back. Tonight in Philadelphia, authorities are hunting for 2 armed suspects wanted for an armored truck robbery. Police say the suspects assaulted the driver, stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. This was in Chester. The gunman wearing a safety jacket and a reflective vest. They escaped in a Nissan Pathfinder. Also tonight, the frantic race to rescue a 16-year-old girl buried on the beach in San Diego. The teen trapped when a 6-foot sand hole collapsed around her at Mission Beach. Buried about neck deep, rescuers were able to free her. She was okay. When we come back here tonight, the video, a crane collapsing on a bridge, killing a construction worker in a moment. Authorities have now released video of that harrowing crane collapse in Fort Lauderdale. A construction worker was killed, a huge part of the crane coming down in April, landing on top of that car there. The driver survived, actually freeing herself. Bodycam video showing an officer running to help that driver. When we come back tonight, you could call it a bear of a day for the Emmy nominations. The winners already tonight. We'll go down the list here. The bear roars at the Emmys. Tonight, the nominations are in.
Fire everything right now! Yes, Chef!
The 76th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards, history being made. And a big night for ABC's parent company, Disney, already. A record 183 nominations, the most ever in its history.
I have every intention of turning this into a respectable place of business.
The Bear from Disney's FX with a record-breaking 23 nominations, the most ever for a comedy series in a single year. Also, Only Murders in the Building from Disney's Hulu with 21 nominations, including Best Actor nominations for Steve Martin and Martin Short, and co-star Selena Gomez earning her first Emmy acting nomination ever for Best Actress.
Actors are just people. Remember how nervous you were to meet me at first?
I don't. Maybe you remember.
Yeah, but now look at us.
The show with the most nominations going to Shogun on FX. 25 nominations in all.
War is coming.
There's danger everywhere.
And tonight, history also made by actresses Kaylee Reese and Lily Gladstone.
It's really heavy.
Gladstone in Under the Bridge on Hulu, and Reese in True Detective Night Country on HBO Max.
Never even wanted to look at her files. And now you're just brushing her off like she's...
They are now the first Indigenous women ever to be nominated for an acting Emmy. And tonight, 11 nominations in all for the cultural sensation Baby Reindeer on Netflix.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my stalker. Say hello to Mark.
Don't you say that to me! Apologize to me right now!
Can't take my mom anywhere.
The 75th Annual Primetime Emmys airing September 15th, right here on ABC. And we'll see you at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. Donald Trump's VP pick, JD Vance's big speech, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you then. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.